17 now. Here is a live look down on Monument Circle this Monday morning. 64 degrees. It feels so nice and comfortable when you step out this morning.
If only we could hang on to it, Marcus.
It was a nice break from what was a sizzling week last week, right? Really, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were ideal across our area. And the main part of all of that, not only the temperatures lowering, but the humidity was much more manageable. Unfortunately, we're going to be cranking both the temperatures and the humidity up this week, and it kind of begins today, although we're not feeling it this morning. The humidity is pretty much in check, and we're very quiet now as we start things off for this week across the area. Right now, we're at 64 degrees. It is a clear sky. Winds are out of the south and west at around 6 miles per hour. And again, that humidity for this time of morning fairly low. A lot of areas are into the upper 50s so far this morning. So that tells you that the air is relatively dry. We have cooled nicely in a lot of spots. Warmest spots, South Bend and Muncie, sitting into the mid-60s. A lot of what you're seeing in terms of the returns on radar are actually some of the wind farms across central and northern parts of the state. So we are quiet. No rain in the forecast for us today as high pressure kind of exiting down to the south and east. And so we're on the back end of this. That means more of a return flow, a southerly flow that's going to help kind of crank the temperatures up after a beautiful weekend. Numbers near 80 at lunchtime today, and I'm going to go with a high of 90 this afternoon, and it does come with a lot of sunshine. Now, the good news with this, as I mentioned, the humidity not sky high, so there shouldn't be a big separation between the air temperature and the feels like temperatures, which is what we talked about a lot last week when you had dew points easily into the mid-70s and we were talking heat indices well over 100 or 105 degrees. So that humidity stays below that discomfort line, at least for today. Now, this is kind of how the rest of the week is going to play out. We've got a big dome of hot air that's going to settle in overhead. This is exactly what happened last week. So what ends up happening? A few things. Obviously, we're going to get more mugginess coming in, more humidity. You're going to have those temperatures into the 90s, maybe mid-90s or upper 90s at times. And any storms that develop stay well north of kind of the core of this heat. And we could use some rain. I know a lot of lawns are pretty crunchy right now. I just don't foresee real good rain chances in the next 7 days or so. Humidity will be on the rise starting tomorrow. We're kind of into that uncomfortable category. Tomorrow, I think we kind of get in that miserable range, which is what we had, say, Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday of last week when we were in the core of that heat. It does relax a little bit Thursday and Friday with more comfortable air, but it does appear that we may start to see that mugginess start to ramp back up heading into the weekend. Tomorrow's high around 95. That's the air temperature. So we're right back to where we were midweek last week. And so our temperatures are just going to kind of continue to hold steady here. Low to mid 90s for the most part for the rest of the week here. 95 tomorrow, 96 on Wednesday. Maybe a little bit of a breather Thursday, Friday before we ramp back up into the low to mid 90s for the weekend. Again, the important numbers here are the heat indices. Now, I don't know if it's going to be awful tomorrow. We may be flirting with advisory criteria Tuesday. I certainly think we're at least advisory criteria for Wednesday, if not excessive heat warnings like we had last week. It feels like temperatures close to 105 for Wednesday. So that's going to be the hottest of the days. It could come with some spotty storm chances, but I wouldn't bet on it for Wednesday. 96. Dry Thursday and Friday. Also chances for storms Saturday and Sunday again, but pretty limited highs in the low 90s. And we do catch a bit of a break Monday of next week with highs in the mid 80s.
All right.